Namaste, namaskaram. Thank you guys for attending this class today. I know this is, for a lot of you, this is Memorial Day weekend. So if you are celebrating, hopefully you're having a nice, peaceful weekend so far. So for today, I'm going to be sharing some really restorative poses, no standing poses, kind of just easing our way through the day and not worrying about the next day, the next hour, even the next minute. Let's just focus on the present, because like many have said, the present is the most wonderful gift we can be given. So we'll start off in a comfortable seat. If you do have a pillow, I like to use my meditation pillow. We'll start off in a nice comfortable seat. And as you're sitting on your pillow, if you choose to sit on the mat or on the floor, whatever, when you're here, let's place our palms on our knees. Breathe in the moment. Nice, regular breaths. And when we start to inhale now, let's inhale, bring in all of the thoughts that we've had for last week. Exhale them through the mouth. And as we continue our regular breath, let's begin to not force it. Let's see if we can just relax the forehead, relax the jaw, begin to slowly relax the shoulders. And when we're ready, we'll flutter open our eyes. Bring our palms together. And let's set our intention for this practice. Whether this be an intention for yourself or for someone else, breathe in the moment. And as we continue being in the seated position, placing our palms down on our knees, we'll be doing some seated cat-cow poses. So as we inhale, we're going to lift our chin up. And as we exhale, we're going to round our back. So to begin, inhale. Exhale. Do this 3 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. So taking this pillow or whatever you have away, staying in a comfortable position still. We're going to place our fingertips on the mat in front of us. We're going to take a deep inhale. And as we exhale, begin to slowly move your fingertips in front of you. Now, if you keep your fingertips up, you're bringing an extra stretch to the shoulders. If you bring your palms down flat on the mat or in front of you, you'll be relaxing your shoulders. So whatever you choose. Take another deep inhale. And as you exhale, see if you can fold a little bit more. And when you're ready, begin to slowly move your fingertips back to neutral. And then placing our palms on our knees once again. We're going to inhale one more time. Exhale. Good. And let's come down on our hands and knees. And we'll do some cat-cow poses here too. So I'm going to inhale, lift up. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And as we stay here for a moment. And then take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, slowly begin to bring your bum to your calves. And then inhale, lift. And then exhale, slowly come down. One more time, inhale, come up. Exhale, come down. And whichever you choose, we're going to come into child's pose. But to add a little hip opener, spread your knees and then come down. And when you're ready, come back into seated position. And in the beginning of the practice, I was mentioning relaxing of the shoulders. And a lot of the tension that we hold in our necks here derive from our shoulders. So we did this together last week if you were attending. But let's delve into that. Let's come into a pose or a pose that enables us to move our necks around a little bit more and to release a lot of the tension that is held both in the neck and the shoulders. So coming back into a seated pose, and if you have any strain on your neck, please stay in a neutral state or come into child's pose if you'd like. So here, we're going to keep our heads, our necks neutral. So just looking straight ahead, so not lifting up and not moving your head down. I'm going to stay in neutral position. I'm going to take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, begin to slowly bring your left ear to your left shoulder. Breathing mindfully here. So if you feel any strain in this area or this area, please be mindful of that. For others, it might feel like there's a little bit of pressure, which is okay, as long as there's no pain. Be sure to breathe here, bringing oxygen to the muscles. And then take another deep inhale. And as you exhale, still with your neck in this position, begin to bring your head down. And then when you're ready, inhale, coming back up, and then exhale, coming back to neutral. So before we go to the next side, let's just slowly move our heads back and forth. Again, if there's any strain, refrain from doing that until we come to stillness. So now we're back here in neutral. Again, head is not lifted. It's not pointing down. Nice and neutral. As we take another deep inhale, we're going to exhale, bringing that right ear to the right shoulder. And sometimes one side might be a little more challenging than the other, whatever pose you're in, and that's okay. Nice, even breaths. And as we take another deep inhale, still in this position, exhale, begin to bring your head down. And then take another deep inhale, coming back up, and then exhale, coming back to neutral. That should have been a nice stretch, hopefully. Now coming back to hands and knees. This time, on our hands and knees, we're going to bring our palms closer to the top of the mat, and then tuck your toes into downward facing dog, but instead of bringing your hips all the way up and straightening your legs, what we're going to do this time is actually just keep our knees hovered over the mat. Little core work today, a little bit. And then bring your knees down, keeping your toes tucked. And do it 2 more times. So inhale, lift, hovering those knees over the mat. Hold, breathe. And then exhale, come down, bring your knees down, and then come back into child's pose. And then when you're ready, come back into hands and knees. We'll do a little bit of just stretching out the shoulders once again. So as we are here in hands and knees, going to lift our right hand, palm facing the back. Another deep inhale. And as we exhale, begin to slowly bring your right hand underneath your left, and then bringing that right shoulder down. And if you're looking for an extra stretch, you can take your left hand and bring it to the back. And this would add on to a deeper stretch as well as a deep stretch in the shoulder. Two more breaths. And when you're ready, if you have your left arm in the back, bring it back up to the mat, and then inhale, lifting that right hand up again, and then exhale, bringing it back to neutral. So we'll do the other side. Staying on our hands and knees. Inhale, bringing our left arm up, facing the front, and then exhale, bringing that left shoulder down. So you can leave your right palm down, or for an extra stretch in the shoulder, you can bring your palm maybe to your inner thigh or just to the back. Two more breaths here. Then when you're ready, do the same thing. If there was a bind here, you bring your right arm down. Inhale, left arm lifts up. Exhale, coming back down to neutral. Now, taking our palms to the top of the mat once again, we are now coming into downward facing dog. And in downward facing dog, if your hamstrings are tight or calves are tight, you can just pedal the feet. Maybe bend the knees. Next, let's inhale, bringing the left leg up, bending it and placing the left foot in the middle of the palms. Back knee comes down. And if there's any pressure on the knee, you can either keep it lifted or place a blanket under the knee. If you want a deeper stretch, what you can do is move your left leg out and then come down onto your forearms. Three more breaths here. And wherever you are in this pose, if your foot is still in between your palms here, let's tuck the back foot, the toes in, and then bring your left foot back to meet your right. Back into downward facing dog. Once again, maybe bend the knees, lift the hips. Now let's lift the right leg up. Bend the knee, bring it in the middle of your left and right palm. And then slowly bring your left knee down. And if you're feeling open today, you can take that right foot, bring it to the outside of the mat, and then lowering down onto your forearms. Again, one side might be a little bit more challenging. It's okay. We'll stay here for a few more breaths. As you inhale, begin to lift up again. Like before, if your foot is still in between your palms, you're going to tuck that back foot in and then bring your right leg back to meet your left, back into downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, all of the fingertips are spread out. Feet are hip width apart. Shoulders are drawn in. Belly is drawn in. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, come back into child's pose. Let's inhale, coming back into hands and knees. And now let's come into some little bit of a balanced pose. So as you inhale, begin to extend that left arm out and your right leg out. So you're using your core as a center of gravity here to balance. Keeping that core engaged. And then exhale, begin to lower that left palm down and right knee down. The other side, inhale, right arm out, left leg out. Again, keeping that core engaged. Breathe. And then as you exhale, bring that right palm down, left knee down. Let's come back into a seated position. Enough core work for today. Let's do some side body stretching. So placing palms on our knees once again, we're going to inhale, once again, coming down, folding. And then as we inhale, come back up, and as we exhale, begin to slowly move your fingertips to the right of your mat. Take a deep inhale, exhale, come and fold. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, going to move to the other side. So slowly moving your fingertips to the left side of your mat. And inhale, exhale, fold. And then when you're ready, begin to slowly bring your fingertips back to neutral, back to the front. And then inhale again, slowly bring your fingertips back to neutral. So let's come on our backs. And as we're here, begin to bring your knees to your chest. And if you're feeling maybe a little bit flexible today, maybe extending your legs out, flexing both feet here. Maybe see if you can grab the toes. Lengthening that spine. And coming back down, hugging knees into the chest. And then perhaps coming into happy baby, which is you can either bring your knees up, you can either hold the outside of your feet or maybe just hold your calves and just sway back and forth, keeping the spine fluid. And as we close the practice, coming into Savasana, the last pose of the practice, extending both feet out, flopping the hands out. And as we stay here, let's regulate our breath. Know that we are here, we're in the present moment. And as we return to our breath, begin to slowly wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingertips, and then turn to your right side for a moment. And then when you're ready, find your way back into a seated position. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this practice. Make sure to let me know if there's anything else that you'd like to practice in the next sessions. I want to thank Solivity Latinx and Solivity Magazine for having me as their teacher every week. Appreciate it. And to all of you, hopefully you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And as we close out, let's bring our hands to our forehead, reminding us to have clear and loving thoughts. Our hands to our mouths to have clear and loving communication. And hands to our hearts to remind us to have clear and loving intentions. Thank you. Namaste.
Solivity Magazine brings you the best in inspiration on Solivity TV. Check out our new shows. Mark your calendars for Solivity Magazine shows by going to solivity.com now.